The rain pelts my face as I stand on the front lawn, clutching a duffel bag stuffed with whatever clothes I could grab in 15 minutes. My husband, no, ex-husband now, stands in the doorway, his face twisted with disgust. Behind him, my mother-in-law's silhouette looms like a vulture, arms crossed in victory. I'm Zaley, and this is how I lost everything, or rather, how everything was stolen from me. You're a disgrace. Trent spits, his words cutting through the downpour. How could you embezzle from your own company? How could you shame our family like this? I didn't do it, I say for what feels like the 100th time today. My voice cracks, but I force myself to stand straight. If you just listen, we've heard enough, Rosalind interrupts, her perfectly manicured hand gripping Trent's shoulder. The evidence is clear. The board has proof. Proof that was planted! My scream echoes across the manicured lawn of their suburban paradise. A neighbor's curtain twitches. Perfect. More audience for my public execution. Lower your voice, Rosalind hisses. You're making a scene. A scene? I laugh, the sound bordering on hysteric. You want to talk about scenes? How about the scene at the office when security escorted me out? Or when the investigators showed up with fabricated documents I'd never seen before? Trent steps forward, rain darkening his expensive shirt. Stop lying, Zaley. Just stop. The company's pressing charges. The evidence. What evidence? I cut him off. The conveniently altered spreadsheets, the backdated transfers. Did you even look at them, Trent? Did you even ask to see them before deciding I was guilty? His silence is deafening. Of course not, I whisper, because Mommy said I was guilty, right? And Mommy's always right. Don't you dare! Rosalind starts, but I'm done listening. 5 years, Trent, 5 years of marriage, and you couldn't give me 5 minutes to explain. I adjust the strap of my bag, the weight of my collapsed life heavy on my shoulder. You know what's funny? I always knew your mother hated me, the accountant's daughter who wasn't good enough for her precious son, but I never thought you'd hate me too. I don't hate you, he says weakly. I can't have this scandal touch our family. Your family, I correct him. I was never really part of it, was I, Rosalind? She doesn't answer, but her tight smile says everything. My phone buzzes. It's Krista, probably wondering if I'm okay after today's office nightmare. At least someone still believes in me. Where will you go? Trent asks, a flicker of concern crossing his face. Too little, too late. Why? Worried about your conscience. I shake my head. Don't be. I'll figure it out. I always do. The police will want to question you, Rosalind adds, unable to resist one final twist of the knife. Perhaps you should contact a lawyer. Thank you for your concern, I say, my voice dripping with sarcasm. I'll add it to the list of things I need to handle alone. Lightning flashes, illuminating the house I once called home. 5 years of memories, photos, dreams, all washed away in a single afternoon because someone at work needed a scapegoat and my mother-in-law needed an excuse. I turn away, my heels sinking into the wet grass as I walk toward my car. Behind me, I hear the door close, a final punctuation mark on my marriage. My phone buzzes again. This time it's an email from Tobias Gross, the senior executive who'd been reviewing the evidence against me. The subject line reads, Resignation effective immediately. Attached are documents I've supposedly signed, confessing to everything. I start laughing. I can't help it. The perfect setup, the perfect file, the perfect patsy. They really thought this through. As I slide into my car, I catch a glimpse of myself in the rearview mirror. Mascara-streaked hair plastered to my face, looking every bit the desperate criminal they've painted me to be. But there's something else in my reflection, something hard and bright and dangerous. You want a disgrace, I whisper to my reflection. I'll show you a disgrace. I'll build myself up from these ashes piece by piece, dollar by dollar. And one day when you're drowning in your own lies, you'll remember this moment. You'll remember the woman you threw away. I start the engine, the familiar purr somehow comforting in its normalcy. As I pull away from the curb, I make myself a promise. One day they'll choke on the truth, and I'll be there to watch them swallow it. My new apartment smells like stale cigarettes and broken dreams, the kind of place you end up when your bank accounts are frozen and your reputation is in tatters. I've been here 3 weeks and the walls still feel like they're closing in. You need to eat something, Krista says, dropping a bag of takeout on my rickety coffee table. And you need to stop staring at those files. Papers cover every surface: bank statements, email printouts, transaction logs, the breadcrumbs of my destruction scattered like confetti at a funeral. Look at this, I say, pointing to a timestamp. These transfers? They're backdated. Someone accessed the system using my credentials while I was in that budget meeting with Tobias. Krista sits beside me, her face softening. Have you shown this to the investigators? They won't talk to me. I laugh bitterly. Apparently, Rosalind's charitable contributions to the police foundation carry more weight than evidence. My phone rings, another reporter wanting a comment. I silence it. You need a lawyer, Krista insists. I need a miracle. I shuffle through more papers. Or better yet, proof that Tobias set me up. A knock at the door makes us both jump. Through the peephole, I see a familiar face. Marcus, my old mentor from business school. Rough neighborhood, he comments as I let him in, eyeing the peeling wallpaper. It's not the Four Seasons, but it's what innocence buys these days. I clear papers from a chair. What brings you here? He pulls out a manila envelope. Information and advice. My hands shake as I open it. Inside are internal memos, email chains, all involving Tobias and several offshore accounts. Where did you get these? Let's just say I still have friends at the firm. Marcus leans forward. Listen carefully, Zaley. They're burning you to cover something bigger, much bigger. How much bigger? Millions, maybe tens of millions. He glances at Krista. Can she be trusted? With my life, I answer without hesitation. Good, because what I'm about to tell you could get us all in trouble. He pulls out his phone, showing us a series of transactions. See these patterns? Classic money laundering. Tobias has been cooking the books for years. And he pinned it on me, I whisper, with help. Marcus's eyes narrow. Your mother-in-law's foundation? It's connected. The donations, the pressure on investigators, it's all linked. My stomach lurches. Rosalind knew? She helped destroy me? Want revenge without fingerprints? Marcus stands, straightening his tie. Build influence, quietly, and wait. After he leaves, Krista and I sit in stunned silence. What are you thinking? She finally asks. I walk to the window, watching rain streak the glass. I'm thinking it's time to stop being the victim. What's the plan? First, we document everything, every transaction, every lie. I turn back to her. Then I'm going to learn everything there is to know about corporate crisis management. Why crisis management? A smile spreads across my face, the first real one in weeks. Because the best defense is knowing how to destroy someone's reputation, and I'm going to become an expert. My phone buzzes with a text from Trent. The investigators want to meet. Please cooperate. Delete it, Krista advises. Instead, I type back, funny how karma works. Tell your mother to enjoy her foundation's success. For now. Zaley, Krista grabs my phone. Don't antagonize them. I'm not. I take it back. I'm making a promise. I spend the next hour making calls to night schools, to certification programs, to anyone who can teach me what I need to know. By midnight, I'm enrolled in courses on fraud analytics, corporate law, and digital forensics. You're really doing this, Krista says, helping me organize the evidence into folders. They thought they could bury me. I stick a post-it on a folder labeled Tobias Offshore Accounts. But they forgot something important. What's that? I hold up Marcus's documents, my smile turning predatory. Seeds grow in dirt, and they just planted me deep enough to grow into their worst nightmare. Later that night, after Krista leaves, I stand in front of my bathroom mirror. The woman staring back isn't the same one who stood in the rain 3 weeks ago. She's harder, sharper. My phone chimes with an email from a corporate defense firm offering interview slots for their crisis management training program. Perfect, I whisper to my reflection. Let's learn how to burn houses down, legally, of course. I select the earliest slot available. Tomorrow I start becoming someone new, someone who doesn't get discarded, someone who makes others choke on their lies. Your client has a problem, I tell the nervous restaurant owner sitting across from me, but it's fixable. 1 year has passed. My tiny consulting office isn't much, but it's mine, paid for by late nights studying crisis management and weekends helping small businesses navigate their PR disasters. The health inspector's report, he starts, is public record, I finish, but so is your immediate response. We'll document every improvement, every new procedure, turn this into a redemption story. My phone buzzes. Krista's text reads, "Turn on channel 7 now." I excuse myself and step into the hallway, pulling up the news on my phone. My heart stops. Tobias is being interviewed about the company's record growth, our commitment to financial integrity, he's saying, smooth as ever. After last year's unfortunate incident, I shut it off, my hands shaking with rage. Everything okay? A deep voice startles me. A man in a charcoal suit stands nearby, watching with interest. Perfect, I say, straightening my spine. Can I help you? He extends his hand. Nico Rivera. I heard about your work with the cafe downtown. Impressive crisis management. I shake his hand, studying him. Sharp eyes, confident stance, expensive watch. That was a small job, but expertly handled. He hands me a business card. I have connections with larger clients, ones who need someone with your particular understanding of corporate takedowns. My pulse quickens. What makes you think I understand those? His smile is knowing. Let's just say I've done my homework on what happened at your previous employer. Their loss, if you ask me. Are you offering me a job? A partnership? He leans against the wall. I bring the clients. You work your magic. Though I have to ask, why help businesses stay afloat when you could be sinking the ones that deserve it? I glance back at my office where the restaurant owner waits. Who says I can't do both? Later that evening, over drinks, Nico outlines his proposal. He's built a network of high-level contacts but needs someone who understands the intricacies of corporate defense. Your night courses, he notes, sliding a folder across the table. Fraud analytics, behavioral finance, cyber law. You're building quite the arsenal. Knowledge is power, I say, sipping my wine. And revenge? I meet his gaze. Is best served legally and profitably. He laughs. I like you, Zaley. You've got fire, but you're smart enough to channel it properly. Speaking from experience? Let's just say we both learned the hard way that the system's rigged. He pulls out another file. Here's our first potential client. Major tech firm. Whistleblower situation. Interested? I open the file, scanning the details. My eyes catch on a familiar name in the company's partner list. Well, Nico prompts, when do we start? The next few months blur into a cascade of clients, cases, and late-night strategy sessions. Nico's connections open doors I never knew existed. We move to a proper office downtown, hire staff, build a reputation. You're different, Krista observes over lunch one day. Stronger. I'm focused, I correct her. Every case teaches me something new. Every client brings me closer to what? Revenge? I shake my head. To making sure what happened to me never happens to anyone else. My phone rings. It's Nico. Turn on the news, he says without preamble. Another whistleblower just came forward from your old company. I nearly dropped the phone. On the restaurant's TV, a headline scrolls, Financial irregularities alleged at major corporation. Get back to the office, Nico says. This could be our chance. An hour later, we're reviewing the whistleblower's claims. They align perfectly with what Marcus showed me a year ago. We could reach out, Nico suggests. Offer our services. No, I close the file. We wait. For what? I smile, remembering Marcus's words about building influence quietly. For them to realize they need us. The best revenge isn't just winning, it's making them pay you to save them from themselves. Nico studies me for a moment. You're incredible. You know that? Something warm flutters in my chest, but I push it away. There's no room for complications, not when I'm so close. That night, I add the whistleblower's documents to my growing collection. On my wall, a frame quote reads, Success is the best revenge. Below it, I've penciled in my own addition, but making them fund their own destruction is even better. My phone lights up with a text from an unknown number. We should talk about Tobias and what really happened. The game is finally beginning. The whistleblower sits across from me in a private room at an upscale restaurant, nervously shredding a napkin. Sarah, former senior accountant at my old company, now potential key to my vindication. They'll destroy me, she whispers, like they destroyed you. No, I correct her, sliding my business card across the table. They tried to destroy me. Instead, they created me. Her eyes widen as she reads my title, Chief Executive, Crisis Management Solutions. You built all this? With help. I nod toward Nico, who stands guard by the door. Tell me about Tobias. She pulls out a thumb drive. It's worse than anyone knows. The embezzlement, it's in the millions. And your mother-in-law's foundation, it's been laundering money for years. My hand tightens around my water glass. Explain. Rosalind's philanthropy circle? It's a front. They pressure investigators, bury evidence, redirect funds. When you started asking questions about the accounting discrepancies, they needed me gone, I finish. Tobias convinced Rosalind you were a threat. She was more than happy to help destroy you. Nico approaches our table. Car's ready if you need to leave. Sarah nods gratefully. There's one more thing. She hesitates. Trent knew, not everything, but enough. He chose to believe his mother over you. The truth hits like a physical blow, but I keep my face neutral. Thank you, Sarah. My team will protect you. After she leaves, Nico sits beside me. You okay? Perfect. I plug the thumb drive into my laptop. Now we have proof. What's the play? We wait, build more influence. When we strike, my phone buzzes with a text from Krista. What is it? Nico asks, noting my expression. I show him the message. Turn on any news channel, now. The restaurant's bar TV tells the story. Lexi Cooper, my former sister-in-law, Rosalind's precious daughter, in handcuffs. The headline screams, Prominent socialite arrested for embezzlement. Well, Nico says softly, looks like karma's working overtime. My phone explodes with notifications, including one from a number I haven't seen in 5 years. Rosalind? Nico guesses. I show him the text. Please, we need your help. Name your price. The mighty have fallen, he murmurs. I think back to that rainy night standing on the lawn with my life in shambles. Now I sit in designer clothes, running my own firm while they're drowning in scandal. Should we take the case? Nico asks. Oh, we'll take it, I smile. But first, let them sweat. Back at the office, we review Sarah's evidence while monitoring Lexi's arrest coverage. The pieces fit together like a perfect puzzle of corruption. Look at this. Nico points to a transaction trail. Tobias has been running the same scheme for years. He just found better scapegoats. And better protection, I add, pulling up photos of Rosalind's charity galas. Amazing what a few well-placed donations can buy. Nico moves closer, his presence warm and steady. You've come so far from that story you told me about standing in the rain. Have I? I turn to face him. Sometimes I feel like I'm still that woman, just wearing better armor. You're so much more. His hand brushes mine. My office door bursts open. Krista rushes in, waving her phone. You won't believe this. Lexi's fiance, Deacon. He's connected to Tobias. They've been running schemes together for years. The perfect circle, I murmur. Rosalind's daughter engaged to her partner in crime's accomplice. What are you thinking? Nico asks, recognizing my expression. I pull up my email. I'm thinking it's time to send Rosalind my consultation rates. Premium pricing, of course, for old time's sake. She'll pay it, Krista says confidently. Oh, I know. I hit send on a number that would make most clients faint. Because I'm not just selling crisis management, I'm selling salvation. My phone rings immediately. Rosalind. Should I answer? I ask the room. Nico squeezes my shoulder. Make her wait. You've earned that power. I let it go to voicemail, imagining her face as she sees my fees. The woman who once called me a gold digger now has to pay a fortune for my help. To think, Krista muses, if they hadn't thrown you away, none of this would exist. Sometimes, I say, watching my email fill with desperate messages from the Cooper family, people create their worst enemies by betraying the wrong person. Nico's hand finds mine again. This time, I don't pull away. Shall we start planning how to save the mighty Coopers? He asks. Oh, no, I correct him, squeezing his hand. First, we plan how to make them earn their salvation, every expensive, humbling step of it. My phone buzzes again. Rosalind's text reads, Whatever you want, just help us. I smile. Finally, the queen of scorn learns to beg. Rosalind sits in my office's waiting room, her designer handbag clutched like a shield. I watch her through the security feed, making her wait exactly 45 minutes, 1 minute for each day I spent rebuilding my life after she destroyed it. She's getting antsy, Nico observes, standing behind my chair. Good. I adjust my Cartier watch, a gift to myself after our firm's first million. Let her feel what powerlessness tastes like. When I finally enter the waiting room, Rosalind stands so quickly she almost trips. 5 years have aged her more than they should. Her perfectly maintained facade shows cracks, smudged mascara, trembling hands. Zaylee, she breathes, you look successful. Amazing what happens when you're not being framed for fraud. I gesture toward my office. Shall we? She follows me like a scolded child. Gone is the imperious woman who once called me a disgrace. In her place sits someone desperate, broken, and most satisfyingly at my mercy. I assume you've seen the news? She starts. About Lexi? I pull up the coverage on my wall screen. Your daughter's mugshot is quite photogenic, though the orange jumpsuit might clash with your family's holiday card aesthetic. Please, she whispers, we need your help. We? I raise an eyebrow. Or you, because last I checked, Trent still hasn't apologized for believing Mommy's lies. He's struggling with all this. Karma's funny that way. I open a folder. Speaking of funny things, let's discuss your foundation's interesting financial patterns. The color drains from her face. What do you mean? Oh, you know exactly what I mean. I slide Sarah's documents across the desk. The same foundation that pressured investigators to frame me. It's been laundering money for years. Quite the family business you've built. That's not, I never. Save it. I hold up my hand. I'm not interested in your excuses. I'm interested in your desperation. How badly do you want to save Lexi from prison? She's my daughter, Rosalind pleads. She made mistakes, but mistakes? I laugh. Like helping destroy an innocent woman's life? Or was that just good parenting on your part? Tears spill down her cheeks, smearing expensive makeup. What do you want? I slide another document across the desk, my contract. Full retainer, premium rates, public apology for what you did to me, and complete cooperation with any evidence I need about Tobias. That's blackmail. No, I correct her. That's business. I'm offering to save your daughter and your reputation. The price is truth and justice. Quite biblical, don't you think? She stares at the contract, at the 7-figure retainer fee. This is excessive. So was destroying my life because I dared to question your precious social circle's financial dealings. I stand smoothing my designer suit. But unlike you, I'm offering a choice. Sign or find someone else to handle your daughter's PR nightmare. Though good luck finding anyone with my intimate understanding of your family's methods. My phone buzzes. Nico sending our prearranged signal. Right on cue, breaking news flashes across my screen. Investigation widens. Cooper Family Foundation under scrutiny. Rosalind's face crumples. You planned this? No, Karma planned this. I'm just charging admission to watch the show. I push a pin toward her. Tick-tock, Rosalind. Lexi's bail hearing is tomorrow. Her hand shakes as she signs. Each stroke of the pen feels like victory. One more thing, I add, taking the contract. I want weekly family dinners. What? She looks up confused. Every Sunday you'll host dinner. Invite Trent, Lexi when she's out on bail, the whole family, and I'll be there, running point on your case, watching you all pretend everything's fine while I dismantle your lives piece by piece. That's cruel. Crueler than making me stand in the rain while you destroyed everything I loved. I press the intercom. Nico, please show Mrs. Cooper out and schedule our first family dinner for Sunday. After she leaves, Nico finds me staring out my office window. You okay? He asks softly. Better than okay. I turn to face him. I'm just getting started. The dinner thing was a nice touch. It's not about being nice. I pick up my phone as it buzzes with a text from Trent. Did Mom really sign with you? I type back, see you Sunday, darling. Wear something expensive. You'll want to look good for the press outside. You're enjoying this, Nico observes. Enjoying? I smile, watching Rosalind's car pull away below. No, I'm savoring it, like a fine wine paired with the perfect dish of revenge. My phone buzzes again. Krista. Just saw Rosalind leaving. How'd it go? I send back a single word. Delicious. The first family dinner is everything I hoped for and more. Rosalind's dining room, once her fortress of superiority, now feels like a stage where I direct the show. More wine, Trent, I offer, lifting the crystal decanter. He flinches when our fingers brush. How's the bail situation, Lexi? I turn to his sister, who hasn't touched her food. Prison food must make home cooking taste like heaven. You don't have to be cruel, Trent interrupts. Cruel? I savor the word. Like believing your wife was a criminal without evidence. That kind of cruel? Deacon, Lexi's fiancé, shifts uncomfortably. Maybe we should discuss the case. Excellent idea. I pull out my tablet. Let's start with your offshore accounts, the ones linked to Tobias. The color drains from his face. Lexi drops her fork. What's he talking about? She whispers. Oh, I feign surprise. Your fiancé didn't tell you? He's been running money through shell companies for years. That's how you got caught up in this mess. Deacon? Lexi's voice cracks. It's not. I can explain. Save it for the prosecutors, I cut in. Unless you'd prefer to cooperate with my investigation, tell us about Tobias's operation. Rosalind stands abruptly. This is inappropriate dinner conversation. Sit down, I command softly. She obeys. You paid for my expertise. This is how I work. My phone buzzes. It's Nico. Documents ready when you are. Now, I continued, Deacon has a choice. He can tell us everything about Tobias's scheme, or I can send these files to the FBI. I show him my screen. Your choice, but choose quickly. You're blackmailing me, he accuses. No, I'm offering you a lifeline, more than anyone offered me. Trent stands. I need some air. Sit down, I snap. You don't get to walk away, not this time. He freezes, then slowly retakes his seat. Deacon, I turn back to him. Time's running out. Tobias or prison? I'll tell you everything, he breaks. Just keep me out of jail. Lexi bursts into tears. Rosalind reaches for her daughter, but I block her hand. No comfort for the guilty, I say. That's your family motto, isn't it? My phone buzzes again. Krista. FBI just called. They want to meet about Tobias. Perfect timing, I announce, standing. Deacon my office first thing tomorrow. Bring every document you have. What about me? Lexi sobs. You? I smile. You get to experience what I did. Complete abandonment while everyone you love scrambles to save themselves. That's enough. Trent slams his hand on the table. You've made your point. Have I? I lean closer. Because 5 years ago you stood in a doorway and called me a disgrace. Now look at your perfect family. Your mother's foundation exposed, your sister in handcuffs, your brother-in-law to be confessing to fraud. I'm sorry, he whispers. I should have believed you. You're right, you should have. I gather my things. But your apology means nothing now. I'm not here for forgiveness. I'm here to watch it all burn. Please, Rosalind tries one last time. We're still family. No, I correct her. We're client and consultant, and my fees just went up. Outside, Nico waits in the car. How'd it go? Deacon flipped. He'll give us everything on Tobias. And the family dinner? Better than therapy. I check my messages. FBI meeting tomorrow at 9. We'll bring Deacon's evidence. You're really going to take them all down? I look back at the house, remembering every slight, every accusation, every moment of betrayal. Not all of them, I say, just enough to make them understand what they did, to make them feel what I felt. And Trent? What about him? He tried to apologize. Too little, too late. I close my eyes. Drive, please. I need to prepare for tomorrow. As we pull away, I see Trent watching from the window. For a moment, I remember why I loved him. Then I remember why I hate him. My phone chimes with a text from Lexi. Help me. Please, I'll do anything. What are you going to do? Nico asks, noticing my expression. I'm going to teach them all a lesson about loyalty, I reply, typing back. Anything includes testifying against your mother's foundation. The response is immediate. Done. I smile in the darkness. Sometimes revenge isn't about destruction. Sometimes it's about making them destroy each other. You're terrifying, Nico says admiringly. No, I correct him. I'm justice. And justice, when served cold, tastes like victory. The city lights blur past as we drive, each one a reminder of how far I've come from that rainy night, from victim to victor, from discarded wife to avenging angel. And tomorrow, the real games begin. The press conference room buzzes with anticipation. Cameras flash as Rosalind approaches the podium, her designer suit unable to hide her defeat. Behind her I stand like a shadow, her puppet master, her nightmare, her salvation. I have a statement to read, she begins, hands trembling on the prepared text. Louder, I whisper, just for her ears. Make sure everyone hears your confession. She clears her throat. 5 years ago, I participated in a grievous injustice against my former daughter-in-law, Zaylee. I allowed personal prejudice and criminal associations to destroy an innocent woman's life. The room erupts with questions. Cameras click frantically. I knowingly supported false accusations, she continues, each word clearly causing her physical pain. I used my foundation's influence to pressure investigators. I chose to protect guilty parties while condemning an innocent person. From the side of the room, Nico catches my eye. He holds up his phone. The story's already trending. Furthermore, Rosalind's voice cracks, I wish to publicly apologize to Zaylee, who has shown more grace and help in my family despite our past actions. Stop! I step forward. That's not in the script. The reporters lean in, sensing blood in the water. But I want them to know. Rosalind tries. What you want doesn't matter anymore. I take the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're witnessing is the beginning of a full investigation into the Cooper Family Foundation's financial dealings. Ms. Cooper's confession is just the start. Zaylee, please, Rosalind begs quietly. I ignore her. We'll be providing evidence of systematic fraud, money laundering, and corruption reaching the highest levels of corporate leadership. My phone buzzes. Deacon's lawyer confirming his client's cooperation with the FBI. Ms. Matthews, a reporter calls out, is this related to Lexi Cooper's arrest? Everything's connected, I reply smoothly, like family. The headlines write themselves. Socialite confesses to framing former daughter-in-law and Cooper Foundation under federal investigation. After the press conference, I find Trent waiting in my office. You didn't have to humiliate her like that, he says. Didn't I? I settle behind my desk. Your mother humiliated me plenty. Consider it interest on an overdue debt. What do you want from us? Money? Power? You have both now. I want you to understand consequences, I answer. Every time you see your mother's name dragged through the mud, remember how you let her destroy me. Every time Lexi faces another court date, remember how quickly you believed I was guilty. I was wrong. He steps closer. I've regretted it every day. Regret's not enough. I stand. But watching your perfect family crumble, that's getting closer. My phone rings. It's Krista. Turn on the news. They just arrested Tobias. I switch on the office TV. There he is being led out in handcuffs thanks to Deacon's evidence. Happy now? Trent asks bitterly. Getting there. I smile. You should check on your mother. She has another statement to make tomorrow. About what? About how she knew Tobias was stealing millions but helped frame me to protect him. I show him the prepared statement. She's very cooperative now that Lexi's freedom depends on it. He reads it, face paling. This will destroy her. Like she destroyed me? I take back the paper. Actions have consequences, Trent, even for the mighty Coopers. Later that evening, I sit in my penthouse office, watching the sunset with a glass of champagne. Nico joins me, loosening his tie. Quite a day, he observes. Quite a victory, I correct him. Is it enough? I think about Rosalind's face at the podium, about Lexi's tears, about Trent's regret. Almost, I answer. One more press conference, one more confession. Then maybe I'll feel clean again. And us? He asked softly. I turned to face him. What about us? When this is all over, when you gotten your revenge, will there be room for something else? Before I can answer, my phone buzzes. It's Rosalind. Please, no more public confessions. I'll pay anything. I show Nico the message. See, they never learn. It was never about money. What was it about? Justice, I reply, typing back to Rosalind. See you at tomorrow's press conference. Wear black. It's appropriate for a reputation's funeral. Nico takes my hand. You're the most terrifying woman I've ever met. Good, I squeeze his hand back, because tomorrow I become even more terrifying. The city lights twinkle below, each one a reminder of how far I've climbed from the ashes they left me in. Tomorrow, Rosalind makes her final confession. Tomorrow, the last piece of my old life burns away, and maybe then, just maybe, I'll be ready for something new. The board position is yours if you want it, the CEO says, sliding the offer across his mahogany desk. After how you handled the Cooper Foundation scandal, every Fortune 500 company wants you in their corner. I pick up the document, thinking of the path that led here. Quite a change from being escorted out by security. You've built something remarkable, Zaley. He stands to shake my hand. We need someone like you. Back in my office, Krista waits with champagne. Did you take it? I did. I sink into my chair, though it feels surreal sitting on the board of a company that once threw me away. Karma's not just a bitch, she grins. She's a CEO. My phone buzzes. A news alert about Tobias pleading guilty. Another about Rosalind's foundation being dissolved. The empire of lies crumbling brick by brick. Nico appears in my doorway. Ready for the gala? Tonight's event celebrates my firm's newest venture, a whistleblower protection program, funded ironically by the settlement money from Tobias's case. Almost, I check my reflection. Just need to make one stop first. We pull up to the federal courthouse where Lexi's sentencing just finished. She emerges, pale but free. Her cooperation earned her probation instead of prison. Congratulations, I call out. House arrest looks better than orange jumpsuits. She approaches cautiously. Why are you here? To remind you that second chances exist. I hand her a business card. When you're ready to rebuild, call me. Unlike your family, I believe in redemption. After everything we did to you, because of everything you did to me. I straighten her collar. Sometimes the best revenge is showing people a better way. At the gala, I take the podium to announce the whistleblower program. In the audience, I spot Trent with his new girlfriend. He catches my eye, nods respectfully. We've reached a strange peace, not forgiveness, but understanding. 5 years ago, I begin, I lost everything because I dared to question corruption. Today, we're ensuring no one else faces that alone. Applause fills the room. Nico appears at my side with champagne. Speech time's over, he whispers. Dance with me? On the dance floor, his arms feel like home. You never answered my question, he says, about us, about after the revenge was done. Because revenge is never really done, I reply. But maybe it's time for something else too. He pulls me closer. Like what? Like this. I kiss him, right there under the chandeliers. Cameras flash. Tomorrow's society pages will love it. My phone buzzes. A text from Rosalind. I truly am sorry for everything. Going to respond? Nico asks. I delete the message. Some apologies come too late. Later that night in my penthouse, Krista helps me out of my gala dress. You seem different, she observes. Lighter? I am. I walk to the window, watching the city sparkle. I thought revenge would feel like winning, but it feels more like freedom. From what? From being their victim, their daughter-in-law, their mistake. I turn back to her. Now I'm just me, and that's enough. My phone rings, the CEO again. The board meeting's tomorrow, ready to make history? Born ready, I reply, catching my reflection in the window. The woman staring back isn't broken anymore. She's transformed. Nico appears with late night coffee, thinking deep thoughts, thinking about karma. I accept the cup, and how sometimes she doesn't just bite, she teaches lessons. And what lesson did you learn? That revenge isn't about destroying people. I smile. It's about becoming so powerful they destroy themselves trying to stop you. He laughs. Remind me never to cross you. Too late. I pull him close. You're already caught in my web. My phone chimes one last time. A news alert. Cooper Family Foundation asset seized. Whistleblower program launches. Perfect timing, I murmur. For what? For letting go. I silence my phone. The best revenge isn't just winning, it's winning so completely that revenge becomes unnecessary. Nico kisses my forehead. So, what's next for the queen of corporate warfare? Living. I lead him to the balcony, building something that helps people instead of hurting them, maybe even falling in love. Maybe? Definitely. I look out at my kingdom of glass and steel because karma isn't just about punishment. Sometimes she's about second chances, even for the ones dealing out the justice. The night wraps around us like silk, and for the first time since that rainy night, I feel completely, utterly free. Not because I won, but because winning stopped mattering. Some people think karma is passive, a cosmic wait and see. But karma is a woman, and sometimes she doesn't just invoice. Sometimes she transforms